Well, I'm talking with my youngest daughter, Sarah. Today is the Tuesday, the 2nd of April, and it is International Autism Awareness Day. And Sarah, you were diagnosed with autism comparatively fairly late in life at the age of 15.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what it's like to live with autism.
Can be a bit hard at times, but there are there's good and bad, harder parts of having autism. It can be very mentally exhausting because you're using a lot of mental energy to do things and kind of get through the day.
A lot of people talk about masking. What does that mean?
So pretty much it's something that a lot of autistic people do, where basically you're trying to hide who you are and change, pretending to be someone else that you're not, to fit in with everyone else and I guess pretend to try and fit in with what's socially accepted.
And does that generate a degree of anxiety?
Yeah, because you don't always know what's expected of you to do or what you should be doing, or how others might expect you to act or dress or something like that.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the good traits or parts of having autism?
So for me, I'm pretty good with pattern recognition. So if I can see a pattern recognition, I just see it, and then it's something that comes easier to me, I guess.
So that's fine when you're playing a computer game, but that doesn't really give you a life skill, does it?
Yeah, well, there are quite a few jobs out there that involve, at least to some degree, pattern recognition. So there's even IT. A lot of IT is pattern recognition because it's basically just a repetition of the same thing.
And that's what you're studying at the moment?
Yeah.
Right. So what are the not so good things about having autism?
Well, I guess part of it is the masking, because that does take a lot of mental energy to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Noise is another thing that affects me quite a bit, because it does at times become physically painful in my ears.
Is that why a lot of people with autism wear headphones or earmuffs?
Yes, that's why I often wear headphones, which can become annoying at times, because it's if I'm out in public wearing headphones, there has been times where people have just assumed that I'm listening to music, and so they'll talk to the person next to me who I'm with about how I'm going. It's just annoying because I'm right there. I can tell you that myself.
What's some of the things that you would like to tell people about how they can better communicate with people with autism?
Well, the first thing is talk to us directly.
Yes.
That would be a helpful start.
Yes.
And I guess just the understanding of we are in person. Autism is a part of who we are, but we do want to have, at least most of us want to be able to talk for ourselves.
Yeah. And what about things like some of the sensory issues that people with autism have, the sense of touch and clothing and all that sort of stuff? So you talked a little bit about sounds.
Yeah, physical touch is another one. even just like a little bit of physical touch can be a lot for me. So like even if someone just like puts their hand on my shoulder, that can be too much. Then like if you are wanting to like give someone like a handshake or, you know, something like this, ask before you do it, because not all of us appreciate being given physical touch without like being asked first.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
That must be really hard in our society, because people will put their hand out to shake your hand. They might give you a pat on the back for a job well done, but that's actually upsetting for you.
yeah, it's like if you are wanting to do that, at least ask us if that is okay.
You know, you talked about someone touching you, but what about clothing? I understand that people with autism have very strong responses to particular types of clothing.
Yeah, so like for me, I can only wear like certain materials because I find like certain materials are can be quite itchy and uncomfortable to wear, and also like the seams of clothing can be annoying if they feel like they're in like the wrong place or whatever.
Are we talking like tags?
Tags can be pretty annoying, yeah.
I think tags are very annoying.
Yeah, like
That's
tags.
the first thing that comes off whenever I buy any clothes.
And even like the seams of like socks can be a bit annoying.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that one too. What advice have you got to people who know that, for instance, if they know you but don't know you very well, or if they know someone who has autism, what's the best way that we can support people who live with autism?
Just ask, is there anything that we can do to help you make things easier? Like, ask what some things that you struggle with. What's your like interest? Because if you ask what like our interest is, then that will probably help with like forming that relationship, because a lot of autistic people have like those special interests, and so if we're allowed to talk about it, we're going to feel more comfortable like around the person.
I heard on the radio this morning that people who have autism actually have 20-year less life expectancy than the average Australian. Why do you think that is?
I'm going to assume that it's probably not being given as much support, generally speaking, and therefore they may not be able to access like the proper medical support that they may need, or just general support.
Sarah, thanks for giving us these little snippets, these little insights. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to people?
I guess just don't judge someone before you take the time to know who they are.